What's up everyone, and welcome back to a new video. So I just came back from Everest Base Camp, and let me tell you, it was one of the most intense, beautiful and emotional things I have ever done. But there's also a lot of things I wish I had known before going. So in this video I am sharing all the stuff no one really tells you, the surprises, the cost, the real behind the scenes, so you can be better prepared than I was. So let's dive into this. First, let's start with cost and money, which is definitely a really important thing. You will need to bring enough cash because once you are up in the mountains, nobody takes cards anymore. You'll spend money on snacks, hot water, showers, Wi-Fi, charging your phone, and of course, tipping your guide and porter. And the higher you go, the more expensive things get. On average, I spent around $24 to $30 a day just on food and accommodation. So make sure to budget a little bit extra for those unexpected costs, because trust me, you don't want to run out of cash halfway up on the mountain, because there will be no other solution for this. And what is really important is if you are booking a trek with any tour company, I booked my trek with High Spirit Treks and I 100% recommend them so much. You'll probably pay around $1,400, $1,300, $1,500. It's all in that price range, and most of the things will be included. But like I just said, you will still want to buy snacks, you still want to buy toilet paper or Wi-Fi or all those other things. So you still have to budget, and you have to keep in mind to bring enough cash to tip your guide and porters. But make sure with the travel company that you know what is included and what not, and based on that you can also make a good budget for this trip. Then toilets and hygiene. Let's talk about toilets. They're basic. Think about squat toilets, no running water and no toilet paper. So really bring your own toilet paper, enough wet wipes and hand sanitizer, because you will be using this every single day. Then the showers, they are very rare and usually ice cold, and they will cost extra. So I skipped most of them and I just basically embraced the dirt, because a good thing to know is that you can pay for hot showers, but I did this one time. I ended up showering, but the moment you turn off the hot water, you'll be standing in -10 or -20 degrees because there's no heating inside. So I ended up being so extremely cold because my hair was wet, I was wet, and it was just so uncomfortable that I never did this at all anymore. And most of these hot showers are extremely basic and they're not even worth it, to be honest. And also the higher you go, there will be no running water. You will have to brush your teeth above the toilet with water from your water bottle to clean your toothbrush. So really think about the most basic circumstances for your personal hygiene. And there are also almost no mirrors at all. So wet wipes will be your absolute best friend. I packed a lot of wet wipes and I used all of them. Every morning I would clean myself completely with wet wipes, every evening as well. And to be honest, this way I stayed pretty fresh during the trip. And also what I really did was change the lowest layers that you are wearing. So make sure to bring enough underwear and change the leggings that you are wearing, because the outside layer, I just wore the same pants over and over and over again, and the same jacket and the same sweater, which is fine. But the clothes that touch your skin, make sure to change that so you stay fresh. Then food. I get this question all the time. The food is really simple, but honestly it does the job. You'll eat a lot of dal bhat, which is actually great for energy. You eat noodles, potatoes, soup and garlic soup. So much garlic. And after Namche Bazaar, it's better to stick to vegetarian meals because the meat has to be carried up and might not be super fresh. What else helped me a lot was bringing my own snacks. I packed protein bars, trail mix, which is a mix of nuts and dry fruits and seeds, some dark chocolate, and little treats from home. I was really so happy I did this on long days when I just needed that extra boost. And we also brought a bag of green powder, which was literally a lifesaver because there are almost no vegetables on the trek and in the restaurant. And if you want to stay healthy, which your body really needs during this trek, I recommend bringing your own bag of greens. You just mix it with water, drink it in the morning. It might not be the nicest thing, but your body will thank you so much for this. And we also took a multivitamin pill every day to make up for what I wasn't getting in the food. You're literally burning so much energy up there, and having these little extras honestly helped me to feel so much stronger and so much balanced. So I really recommend this. A small tip, I know it's not for health, but it's for the soul. Bring a few sachets of hot chocolate. Oh, you will thank me so much for this because hot chocolate in the mountains is so expensive and you will be craving this so much after a day of burning so much calories. Then let's talk about accommodation. You will be staying in tea houses, which are local mountain lodges built for trekkers. They're super simple but very charming, but please don't expect any luxury. The rooms are very basic. It's usually 2 single beds with thin mattresses, a small pillow, and a couple of heavy blankets. Some places give you 1 blanket, others don't. You might have a tiny table or a hook for your jacket, and that is basically it. There is no heating in the rooms, so when the sun goes down, the rooms literally get freezing. I wore my thermal base layers, thick socks, and sometimes even my down jacket to bed, and I brought my own sleeping bag, which was definitely a game changer. I highly recommend you guys to bring a sleeping bag. This is so much needed because it gets really cold up into the mountains, and it's just nice to have your own thing and to stay warm during the night because sleep is the recovery that you need to perform at your best. So make sure to bring a good sleeping bag. Then the bathrooms are usually shared, and depending on the altitude, the toilets can range from squat toilets to Western style ones, but don't expect running water anywhere because most of the time you will have a big bucket next to your squat toilet and you will have to put with a bucket and put the water into toilet to flush everything away. Then electricity is most of the time not free. Charging your phone or camera batteries or power banks will often cost a few hundred rupees per hour, so keep that in mind. And most of the times there are no power outlets in your room, so you will just have to go to the main restaurant area and ask there to charge your power bank. So just invest in a really good power bank because this will be the only form of charging your gear that you will have. And yeah, this is why you will need cash because this is what you're going to pay for. And then speaking of the restaurant slash dining hall, this will be the warmest place in the entire tea house. Each of these halls usually has a fireplace or stove in the middle where everyone gathers around in the evening. But the thing is, they mostly only burn wood during the evenings. So when people come back from their hikes until maybe 8 or 9 p.m. in the evening, and then the fire goes off. So in the mornings, that's when you will be the absolute coldest because you just have this insanely cold night. You have to get up in the cold in the morning and then sit in the dining hall in the morning with no heating. So the mornings are really rough, I'm not gonna lie. And also one more tip, bring earplugs because the walls are super thin and you will definitely hear your neighbors snoring or slamming the door or just morning footsteps. So if you want a good night of sleep, put them in. Then let's talk about the weather and clothing. The weather in the Himalayas is literally no joke. You can start the day in sunshine and be caught in a snowstorm by lunchtime and walk into a windstorm by evening. It's so crazy unpredictable, and that's why layering is everything. And what I was wearing every single day, I would switch between thin or thick socks depending on how cold it was. I had 2 leggings with me. One one thick and one thin. Again, if it was cold, I would wear the thick one. If it was medium, I would wear the thin one. And then on top of that, I would always wearing either my thin or thick hiking pants. So I basically had two different things of everything. Then I would always wear a sports bra, and then I would wear my thermal top. And on top of that, depending how cold it was, I would wear my fleece layers. So sometimes I had just one and my down jacket, or I had 2 or 3 fleece layers and then my down jacket. And if it was insanely cold, I would also be wearing my wind jacket on top of that, and also 1 buff or 2 buffs depending on the cold, and a hat and gloves. And also your clothes won't really dry once you're higher up, so avoid buying cotton. Stick to quick dry or wool fabrics. And for sleeping, I had a separate outfit. I had thermal leggings, warm fleece and cozy socks, which will make a difference when your room feels like a freezer. And the most important thing are hand warmers, especially on the summit days or those early 4 a.m. starts. You will definitely need these because I think they stay cold for 10, 12 or even 24 hours. You can put them in your gloves, or you can put them even in your hat or in your t-shirt, and it's so nice to have that extra heating with you because it gets so cold, trust me. So I get the question so many times, can I do Everest Base Camp by myself? Should I hire a guide? Should I hire a porter? And my answer is always, you can do it by yourself. Would I recommend it? Absolutely not. Because my guide wasn't just someone who knew the way. He helped with so many things. He helped with permits, with accommodation. He gave us so much advice on altitude symptoms, and more than that, he was someone who I could trust when things got really tough, and that kind of presence is so priceless. He even helped us with arranging hot water in the guest houses. He got us a discounted price for that. Because of him, none of us got altitude sickness. We didn't have to worry about a single thing. And to be honest, when you are struggling so much in the mountains and when you are already asking so much of your body and you're so tired, again, like, it's priceless to have someone like him. So yes, I really recommend it. And then our porters, they were absolute legends. They carry the bulk of your gear, walking the same trail and often even faster than you do, while you're just carrying your day pack. And it's not about being lazy, it's about preserving your energy so you can actually enjoy the hike and stay healthy while doing it. And you'll pay around $15 to $25 per day per porter, and it's literally one of the best investments you can make. Plus, it also directly supports the local economy and the families in the mountains. And please do not forget to tip them generously because, trust me, they really earn it. Then what I love to talk about is mental preparation, because when people ask me how the trek was, I say it's physically really demanding, but it's almost mentally even more difficult because you are in very different circumstances than what you are used to, and they're very challenging circumstances as well. So you really have to be in control of your mind in order to succeed this trip, because you are far from home, there's no signal, you're walking for hours, you're sleeping in absolutely freezing rooms, and sometimes you just feel you're done. I had moments where I honestly was like, what am I doing? I don't feel like it anymore. Why am I even doing this? But here's the thing, every time I stopped and I took a deep breath, I looked around and I was like, this is literally what life is all about. And I reminded myself why I came. This is when it got easier. But mental strength is about patience, and it's about being okay with things going slow. It's about listening to your body and not comparing your pace to others, because this is also really important. Some people walk fast, some people walk slow. Everyone eventually reaches Mount Everest Base Camp. It doesn't matter if it takes 1 or 2 hours longer. I was most of the time one of the slowest ones of the group, and I blamed myself in the beginning a lot, and I tried to keep up with them, but I was not enjoying it at all. So eventually I really did my own pace, and that's when I was maybe 40 minutes later than everyone else, but I enjoyed it. I had my heartbeat under control, I could breathe fast enough, and you are so in tune with your body and in your mind all the time. You're literally, it's you versus the mountain, and it's so quiet, and you will be with your own thoughts all the time. So you definitely will be facing some demons on the mountains, but I guess that's what it's all about, and that's what makes this journey so beautiful. So be prepared for that. It's gonna be a very transformative journey. Then some things I really wish someone had told me before, which is you can buy or rent last minute gear in Kathmandu or Namche. So really don't panic if you forget something, but know that it will just cost you a little bit more higher up and the quality isn't always amazing. But that's totally fine, because this will take the edge off of maybe forgetting something, because even one of my water bottle broke and I could just buy a new one up into the mountain. Then socks are gold. Bring more than you think and change your socks often. Dry and warm feet will literally make or break your days. Then altitude affects everyone differently. You could be insanely fit and still struggle. So go slow, drink a lot of water, and take altitude symptoms very seriously and don't push through. It's literally not worth it if you're not feeling well. Then also bring a good headlamp, because for those early starts it is really, really important. And then I know I said it before, but don't rush and enjoy. It can be really intense, but the moment you actually stop, breathe, look at the view, remember why you are doing this, you'll enjoy it way more, and no one cares if you're 1 or 2 hours later than everyone else into the tea house. It's about your experience and just having the best experience you can have. So if you want to see what this whole journey actually looked like, the raw moment, the breakdowns, the beauty, I filmed a full Everest Base Camp documentary and it's up my channel now. I will link it down in the description below, and please go watch it if you are planning or if you just want to feel the magic of the mountains. And if you have any questions, put them down in the comments below, because I love helping. I also have a full Nepal travel guide if you want to check it out. It's also in the description down below. And I also have a full packing list for now a very, very cheap price. So you can check that out as well. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, I will see you in my next one. Bye!